This
Working on any
conference
other
will now be
technologies,
recorded.
just let me know so that I can understand your background and we can move ahead with the demo session and what we are going to cover and what we are going to cover in entire course and what is a roadmap. All these things I am going to discuss. So yeah, let's start with Amulya. Yeah, you can start like what's your background and just let me know brief about you. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, yes, Vikram, we can hear you.
Okay. Amulya, I think you are in the mute. So please check if you are able to hear me or if you are having any. I think she left. That's fine. So Jigasya, right?
Yeah,
Can you give intro about yourself?
my name is Yasa, and I have a 3 years of experience in IT. So, I have worked on middleware technologies like SOA, OSP, and Apache Node, right? And
Hmm.
I'm here like Boomi basics, like enhancements also I have done. I'm here to learn. Like my expectation is here to learn the advanced Boomi,
Okay.
like some
So did you?
complex interfaces.
Okay. So how much percentage of Boomi you have explored so far? Like, did you have access to platform and what are the
Yes.
components you have explored? How far did you explore the all the stuff in Boomi?
So, simple interfaces also I have built. Like I have used like connectors and all, SFTP connector I have configured, and the
Mm-hmm.
map shapes I have used, and even JavaScripts also I have written. So, the
Mm-hmm.
Groovy and JavaScript, like I want to explore more there, and the functions and all, and that kind of simple logics I have built.
Okay, got it. So did you use your training account for that and or did you work on project based requirements?
So, training account, I have done only that associate training and one certificate also. Associate certificate
Mm-hmm.
I have done, and I'm in progress to the professional one. And I have done this interface in like my company, like my
Okay.
project one.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Uh, okay. So Chakravarti, right? Can you give intro about
Yes.
you?
Yeah. Hi, Vikram. My name is Lakshmi Chakravarti. I'm from Hyderabad. So my
Mm-hmm.
background is like I'm working in Wipro. It's a basically I'm into non-technical side. So yeah, from last 6 months I'm preparing for Dellboomi. So in Dellboomi I have completed almost all of certifications, and also like I have good exposure to the Dellboomi. So I have attended at least 20 interviews. So
Mm-hmm.
right now I'm looking for like covering some advanced concepts on Dellboomi, like using the groovy scripts, what all the use cases that we use in
Mm-hmm.
real time.
Mm-hmm.
And also in interviews they are asking about gate, like explain the gateway mechanisms. So to cover
Mm-hmm.
that all advanced topics, like I'm looking.
Okay. So how did you learn? Or like, did you use the training
Yeah.
stuff, or did you
Yes.
have you done any projects, real-time projects in your organization?
No,
So
I have not done any projects. I have completed the like using the training. Initially I learned using the train.boomi. After that I have
mhm.
taken training from one consultancy. So
Okay,
that training was not enough to crack the interview.
that is completely self-learning. That means.
Yeah, after completing train.boomi, I also taken one like training from one trainer.
Okay. So
So
what kind of scenarios did you work like what kind of use scenarios you have worked? Did you build any integrations between the applications? Did you make use of the database integrations or
yes,
Salesforce? Did you use the
yes, I have.
application
Yeah.
integrations?
No, in real time I don't have any exposure. I'm practicing all the scenarios using we have in process library. What are the
Mm-hmm.
examples we have practicing all.
Okay. So do you know like how the Boomi requirements you get in real time, and how we are going to get the business required documents, functional requirements from the business, and how we need to transform into a Boomi logics. So have you explored
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I know that, but in real time I can't do myself.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. Uh, okay. Nice to speak with you. Swarna, right? Can you give an intro about you? Hi, Swarna. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. Swarna, if you are not able to speak, you can text me in the chat box. You can use the chat box in that. So let me know what are your expectations in the course, and have you ever explored the Bhumi before, or this is the first time? So if you are not able to speak, please keep it in the chat box. Uday, you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. No issues.
Okay. Okay, fine. So, guys, let me go ahead because they are not responding, right? So, let's see what are we are going to cover, and if you have any specific requirements, just let me know so that I can add it in the list, course list. We can discuss based on that because we are mainly going to cover the integration part and also the API. So these two we are going to these two are our primary focus. So let me tell you, I think you already explored some part of the Boomi, right? So basically, the first 10 days, let me show my syllabus screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Please respond anyone if you can see my screen.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can see.
we can see you.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for confirming that. So, even you have explored the Bhumi, and even if you have done some integrations, so as a part of the course, so we will be covering from the basics. So when I say basics, right, Bhumi is having a components already. It will be around 22 bit in between 20 to 25 components are there. So in that we have some that is categorized into logical and executable components. So we will be covering that in first 10 sessions. So all the components like branch and map, set properties, whatever are there. So we are going to cover all those components. So each and every component I will be using a use scenario. It is not like just drag and drop configuring, not like that. For each and every component, I'm going to take one sample example and in what scenarios we are going to use that component and how that is going to work. So all these components I'll be covering in first 10 sessions. If you see, these are like different components which we use in the Boomi. And once we are covered with the components, right, we are going to discuss or we are going to take a break like 1 or 2 days to make you revise all those components. So once you revise those components, we will be quickly starting the one of the real-time project. Like I will be providing some functional documentation or the business documentation. That is how exactly you are going to get in the real-time projects. That means when you are working on the projects, let's say how they are going to build a process from the scratch, and how you are going to get the requirements. So and in requirements you will be having what is a source, what is a target, and what are the connections you are going to use, and what are the profiles you are going to use. There are also business validations, what are the business validations you are going to do, and what is the common error handling technique you are going to use. So all these things comes into the picture, where that all those details will be there in the functional documentation, and you have to build a process in such a way that you have to build as same as in the real time. So let's say I will give an one real time scenario, which is an integration between the Salesforce to database. Mostly we'll be using the Salesforce and database for this real time project, because SAP or the success factors, there are plenty of applications available in the market, but all of them doesn't have the trial versions. So we will be making use of the trial versions which is available for the Salesforce. So basically we will be doing the Salesforce setup and also the database setup. So database setup you have to do it in your own laptops, and we need to configure some tables in that. So basically this will be the source and target. This is a basic setup, and we will add more complex to that logic. That means sometimes we will be having the multiple sources and the multiple targets. So it is not always one to one. It will be also having the multiple sources, how we are going to extract the data and merge it into a single profile and sending to the targets wherever it is required. When I say multiple targets, it can be a database, it can be a SFTP, it can be a disk. So at that time, as per the requirements, I will give it to you, so you can make use of those connections and you can do the setup. And also the transformation rules, even in the real time they are going to provide some Excel sheets which will be having source field details and target field details, and what are the mapping functions we are going to use, and what are the field level transformations we are going to use. So when I say field level transformations, right, let's say basically how it will be. uh, when I say integration means, when we say middleware integration or cloud integration means, we are enabling two applications to communicate or to exchange the information between two applications. It can be an application or it can be a technological application. When I say technological, it can be a database, it can be a SFTP server. So FTP server, this comes under the technology connectors. But when I say applications, it can be a Salesforce, or it can be a success factors, it can be a Workday. There are plenty of applications, so that you will be knowing in the Boomi itself. So we will be doing application to database integrations. So you will be having a hands-on on that two connectors, or how to use the application and technology servers. So transformations I will provide you, so you need to develop based on that. So before that, as I said, we will be covering the components before, so you do not have to worry how you are going to implement real time directly, because we will be covering the basics part, and I will be guiding you how to do the all this setup real time integration. And also when it comes to common error handling, right, so there are some mechanisms in real time we will make use of the reusable code, reusing the components or share the components, because in real time it is not always like we'll be using the components different connections or different components. We can make use of what do you say, we can make use of the existing components also. How we are going to make use of the same process, and how we are make use of the same component, because all the components cannot be reusable. Some of them are reusable, some of them are non-reusable. So those also I will be covering in the course. So what are the components that we are going to reuse and which cannot be reused, and that is the thing. And common error handling, that is the most important thing, because wherever you go, where they will be asking you what is the common error handling framework you have used in the Boomi, or what is a common error handling process you have used, and they will ask you to walk through the common error handling process. So that we are going to build. that is a one part of the process. That will also like we need to generate an mail alerts when there is a failure, or if even if it is success, we need to generate a mail alert which is having some information like what is the environment, what is the execution id, source details, target details, if there are any errors, if there are any failures. So how we are going to capture those errors, and how we are going to send it as a mail alert. So these kind of information, or these kind of error handling framework we are going to build, because my first thing is main focus is on the project itself, real time project, because whatever I'm going to provide you like functional documentation or end to end implementation from scratch. So based on that, definitely they will be asking you some questions in the interview. What is the recent project you have developed, and they might ask you what are the challenges you have faced, or they might ask you to walk through the entire process, like how did you implement it, what are the components you have used. So that is the main purpose I have added this real time project in the course. So that is, once we are done with the real time project, then we are going to jump onto the api section. So in the API, we will be having the two services, which we normally call REST and SOAP, because we'll be doing two things. One is consuming, one is providing. When I say providing, we are going to build the APIs within the Boomi, and we are going to expose, or we are going to provide that service to the third party applications. But here, for our testing purpose, we will make use of the Postman, or we can use the within the Boomi also we can do the testing. So using the Postman, how we are going to consume the services, and how we are going to make you how we are going to trigger the processes in the Boomi, which we normally call as the real time integrations. Normally process API, or event triggers, or even handlers we will call, because there is a difference between real time integrations and batch integrations. Batch integrations are nothing but we call as a polars. Polars are nothing but, let's say, I just explained you regarding the real time project. So let's say Salesforce to database integration. We have built the integration, and we are extracting the, let's say, account object from the Salesforce based on the hourly basis. We have scheduled that process. Once we develop that, we will deploy it to the environment, and we will schedule it. When we schedule it right, it will be running on some frequency, let's say a hourly basis or once in a day, like that. So that is that scheduling part we will be taking care in the Boomi itself. That is called batch processes, or polars we call. There is also another kind of framework that is available, which is the real time integrations. Real time integrations are something which are on demand. Let's say I do not want to execute the process on frequently based, because every time I do not have the information unnecessarily, I do not want to use the resources in the Boomi. So for that purpose, what we will do is we will create and process API, either SOAP or the either REST. It is based on the requirement again. So after building that particular process, then we will expose that endpoint. We will share that endpoint. They will make use of that whenever there is an update in the system, or when there is some data is being updated or added, then the process will be executed. So that we call it as a real-time integrations. So these two kind of frameworks we are going to cover. So that is the API thing. And also we will also cover atom queues as well, which is a messaging service. So basically messaging service is available out of the Boomi also. We can make use of the Kafka, or we can make use of the WebLogic, other messaging service, but those are not available right now. We cannot do that, but we can make use of the atom queues. I will also explaining, because atom queues and other messaging service works in the same way, but atom queues will not work outside of the Boomi. It is within the Boomi. Whatever you want to work within the Boomi, you can work using the atom queues. So these, whatever I said you till now, that is completely a development part which takes place in the build page. So basically in Boomi we have three features. Mainly we will be working on the three modules which we called as build, deploy, and manage. Build is nothing but whatever I said you, development and code repository and versioning and component designing, palettes and component explorer. Everything will be stored in the component explorer in the form of folders. So once we developed with all this stuff, once we stored in the folders, then we are going to deploy to the environments. We will be having in multiple environments. In real time we call it as non-prod and prod environments. So basically, the developments, how the developments life cycle will happen is, first when we develop the process, first we deploy to the non-prod environments. Basically, it will start with the dev environment. So once we deploy to that, so we make sure everything is working fine. Unit testing, how do we do the unit testing part, that also we are going to cover. So once we are done with the unit testing, and once we make sure that process is working fine, then we will do the tut testing. Tut testing is nothing but which is the next level of testing, which will be done end to end testing. So like that, after testing we will promote from one environment to other environment. So this is how it is going to work. So once we are done with the deployment and everything that has been promoted to the next environment, then if it is a polar, we will schedule it. If it is not polar, if it, as I said, if it is a real-time integration, it will be in the listeners part. So, so that is pretty much on the deployment side. So once we are done with that, then we are going to cover the support part, support and administration we call. Support and administration, which includes enhancements or incidents, and if there are any failures, how we are going to handle, how we are going to take the root cause, how we are going to find out what is the error. All this stuff we are going to cover, making use of the process reporting page. So in the process reporting page, if there are any failures that will be appearing in the process reporting, so uh, by making use of the logs, or there are some techniques we can use to find out the root cause for any failure. So that also we are going to cover. So this is like end-to-end implementation part. If you have any specific requirements, just let me know. Or if you have any doubts, if anyone, I see like some of them are joined in the middle of the session. So if you have anything, if you want to know about the tool, if you are not aware of the tool, if you want to know about the tool and what are the challenges, or if you have any doubts, any kind of doubts on the tool level, you can ask me now.
Hi, hi. I have joined in the middle. Sorry, so I don't know the exact name of yours. My name is Harika,
Okay. Yeah,
and
myself, Vikram.
my okay, okay. Hi, hi, Nikhil. So my
Yeah.
question is like in CPI we are having API management as the topic.
Mm-hmm.
So in Dellboomi we have the similar kind of thing like API management.
Yes, API
Where,
management is one of the feature which is available in the Boomi.
okay. So if we will be going into that topic in Dellboomi as well.
Yes, we will cover, as I said, you right, real-time integrations. So that will comes under the
Mm-hmm.
API management.
Okay, okay. So the policies, everything like these
Right.
terminologies also are
Plans,
present in the.
right. Plans, subscriptions, and
Okay,
processes through gateway or atom control. Those we are going to cover.
okay, okay. So in I'm comparing it with the CPI. So
Mm-hmm.
in the backend part of the CPI is like Cloud Foundry,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and the BTP cockpit. So similarly in Delboomi it is called as Atom.
When you atom is an environment actually. So whatever
Okay.
we develop in the Boomi process, right? Integrations that we develop, mapping part, when we execute
Mm-hmm.
extracting the data and sending to that particular target, whatever the logic
Okay.
that runs, it will be running on that atom environment. So without atom, whatever we build, whatever we design, that will not that is not going to be executed. Same like how we execute
Okay.
the code on the Java environment.
Mm-hmm. So the real-time project which you going to explain us will be like what kind of application? B2B, like what kind of
It's
application?
an application. It's an application to database.
Okay, okay.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, these were the questions. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Anything else? Guys, any other questions? You want, if you want to know any particular topic, or if you want to know any particular feature in the Boomi, just let me know. Okay, guys, that's all from my side. If you do not have anything, we can wind up for today.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that, actually. So, do you have any questions also? You can ask about the content and all. If everything is fine, we'll close the call and I'll talk to you all. So, guys, if anyone is new here, right? So, just ping me in my WhatsApp number. I'm pinging you here. Okay. So, just because I have shared my link to many people. Yeah, my number is there. So, that's it. Yeah. So, we'll be starting the class very soon. So, I'll let you know the timings and all. Morning time only.